Okay, Utah wins against the Orlando Magic. Honestly, a very impressive win. Let's talk about it. It's the Hoops Nerd Show. All right, guys. So the Utah Jazz win, and we all know what that means. We start freaking out, right? No, I don't think you freak out now. You start freaking out if the Jazz start going on some sort of winning trend here. Utah has the number 2 spot locked up right now. If you look at this, it shows them tied games back with New Orleans, but New Orleans is getting Brandon Ingram back soon unless they make some sort of trade. But even in a trade like that, they'll get somebody. They lost DeJounte Murray. It was either yesterday or today. I didn't see for sure. But with an Achilles tear, I actually don't know if that hurts them all that much because DeJounte Murray, if you watch the Pelicans, has not been good and does not really seem to help any of the... Anyways, okay, is everything running? I think we're running. What the heck is going on? We haven't had that happen in a while. Anyways, like I was saying, in case it got cut out, I think the teams that I worry about the most are probably Charlotte and Brooklyn. Brooklyn, for sure, is trying to lose, although they won their last game. Teams are going to win games here and there, unless you're the Washington Wizards, who are terrible. But Utah is going to win here and there. We can take joy in some of these wins. Now, if the Utah Jazz start winning every single game, then you start to get a little worried. But obviously that's not going to happen. And the Jazz are going to have nights like tonight where it happens. Anyways, part of the reason the Jazz won this game is the Orlando Magic, they win with defense. They are not a very good offensive team, at least when Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero aren't playing above their, just playing well offensively, that is. They were missing Suggs today, Jalen Suggs. And he's a big part of what they do and such a big part of their defense. And they did not have him. And that was a big deal. This game showed just how big Jalen Suggs is and what he does for them. Banchero was terrible tonight. I mean, that was a big reason why Utah wins this game as well. Banchero goes 4 for 19. Yeah, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, but he had 9 points, minus 17. He was not very good tonight. And Franz Wagner scored 37, and that'll probably get you the Instagram graphic for Magic fans, all 12 of them. But he had to take 20 free throws to have it happen. That's crazy. I didn't even realize he got that many free throws, but he went 18 for 20 from the free throw line. Outside of the free throw line points he got, he was just 8 for 21 from the field, 3 for 11 from 3. Not very good. So this Magic team, if they're going to win, they need Franz Wagner and Paolo Banchero to figure out how to play together. Separately, they've been really good. Together, they haven't figured it out yet. When they do, they're going to be... All right, let's talk about the Utah Jazz. Lauri Markkanen, 4 for 10 from 3, better than what we've seen recently. He did have 11 rebounds in this one, so he played pretty solid. 3 blocks for Markkanen, too. Nice to see. But all he did was take threes in this one for the most part. 4 for 12 from the field. He missed both shots that weren't threes. I don't know what to think. He may just be falling into kind of a catch-and-shoot three-point player, which not great with all the money he's being given, but we'll see. Nice to see him shoot a nice percentage though. It's a bounce back night. He has been trending so badly from just his shooting numbers and what you expect from Lauri Markkanen as a shooter. 4 for 10 from 3 tonight, better than what we've seen. He's having a career low 3-point shooting season. So nice to see him do that. And no one needs February 6th trade deadline. Well, basically All-Star break more than Lauri Markkanen. Markkanen I think he needs some rest. I don't know if those he must have some sort of back spasm issue. And I think that's part of what's going on with him. At least I hope so. I hope so. So anyways, Markkanen, let's see if he rests and he can get kind of back to form. Speaking of trade deadline is like 5 days away. It is Saturday the 1st. Today's for the most part over. So tomorrow's the 2nd. It's next week, guys. It's Thursday. Utah makes a trade today. They trade Drew Eubanks, who honestly, that was a bummer to me. They trade Patty Mills to the Los Angeles Clippers. It helps the Clippers get under the tax apron. In return, Utah gets cash, a second-round pick, and they get what was it? PJ Tucker and who was the other one? And Mo Bamba. PJ Tucker is likely going to be waived. I doubt PJ Tucker plays a single minute for the Utah Jazz. There's no point. He is at the tail end of his career, so he may sign with someone else. Utah's likely going to buy him out. It's something Utah has done the last 3 seasons. I'm sure they're going to just do it again. And he probably signs with whoever. Maybe the Suns. Who knows? The Suns could sure use him. But he's pretty old at this point. I don't know what PJ Tucker has left in the tank. But anyways, that's the trade. Maybe I'll make a video about it. It's not that interesting to me. I mean, I guess it makes sense. They get a second-round pick back. Utah does. They are pretty good books-wise, and it just brings back money and a pick for players that weren't going to be on the team next year, possibly anyway. Although I would have liked to have Drew Eubanks on the team. I think he brings a lot in terms of character and toughness and leadership and all those things. So, interesting trade, but not a lot is going to... not much movement of the needle. I will say we did see tonight one element of that trade by not having, because Eubanks and Patty Mills didn't play tonight, but Drew Eubanks was getting regular minutes for the Jazz and obviously didn't play tonight. What we did see was Filipowski minutes because of it. So in a way, you could look at this trade as a way to develop Filipowski more, which is basically what I saw tonight as the biggest kind of effect. And Filipowski made some nice plays tonight. I mean, he moved the ball. His passing was pretty good. Look at this. 4 assists for Filipowski, and they were nice plays. A lot of like getting the ball above the free throw line and hitting cutters going to the basket. He did a great job. So I think that is the biggest effect for Utah, other than that they got some cash. You know, I don't know how much the Jazz needed the cash, but I guess congrats to Ryan Smith and company for getting a little extra money to run the team. And then they also get the second-round pick. Utah does not have a lot of second-round picks, so that does help them if they need to throw it in some sort of trade. They have it available. I don't even know the details of the second-round pick, so I'm not even going to pretend like I do, because I don't. All I know is it's a second-round pick. Second-round picks are more or less the change of NBA currency, and, you know, so I don't know. John Collins played great tonight again. 8 for 9 from the field, almost perfect tonight. 2 for 2 from 3, perfect from the free throw line, the one free throw he took. 6 rebounds. Look at that, 19 points. He was a plus 10. John Collins has turned into a nice player. Absolutely just a nice player. And anyone out there, and I even saw some rumblings from other guys that I talked to on other teams. I saw one of my guys that I talked to about, who's a Bucks guy, was really like, I'm in on trading for John Collins. I think there's a market there, which is crazy. We've heard all the Sacramento Kings rumors that they had a trade literally lined up, but their ownership is crazy town. And I'm sure what's going on right now is a lot of people are just trying to figure out the best trade possible for what they can do. I'm sure if the Sacramento Kings are smart, they're going to do the same thing. What's the best return we can get? I don't know what the Sacramento Kings even want to do with their team. What do you want to win now? Do you want to tear it down? Who even knows with that team? But at this point in a season where there's a lot of teams already tanking, like Sacramento, good luck. You're at 13 in a season where these top 7 teams at minimum are not interested in winning a lot of games. And there's just no ground to be made up in this lottery. But I guess if that's what they want to do, that would be a Kings thing to do. I don't know what they do, because even if they try to win, I don't know. So Utah should take advantage, and if they can get a first-round pick, which it sounds like that's what they were going to get from the Kings, then maybe Danny Ainge is holding out. Maybe he thinks he can get something for John Collins. I know if the Bucks are calling and they have a 2031 pick for, I mean, that's what that guy mentioned, like the 2031 pick. Could you imagine getting a 2031 pick from the Bucks? That's post Giannis, and they're not a destination. So if Utah can somehow get a post Giannis pick from the Bucks, holy smokes, would that be big. Now, it's probably going to be protected, but still, I don't think anyone expected Utah to get anything for John Collins. And now the fact that Utah is in trade rumors with Sacramento to get a first-round pick, pretty remarkable stuff. Walker Kessler was here. His girlfriend was dancing with the jazz dancers. Walker Kessler is succeeding in many ways. He succeeded tonight. 33 minutes. He only took 3 shots, but he made all of them. 15 rebounds, 1 block, 1 steal. He was so good. I mean, there are nights where he is just so dominant. Kessler is interesting because on nights where you face kind of the elite centers of the league, I don't know if he shows up quite as well. But then when you play against teams like this that don't really have a strong inside, I mean, they have Batase, and Kessler was awesome. So, and Batase grades out pretty well, and he's a tough big. And so for Kessler to do this well tonight, 15 boards against Batase, pretty impressive. This was a nice night for Walker Kessler. He's really carving out kind of where he stands in the league. And I think you're basically looking at top 10 center, and that's probably conservative. He's probably higher than that. That's where the debate comes, you know. But I think there's a lot of people out there that might have Walker Kessler, 6 or 7? Maybe? I think that's fair. I don't think that's crazy. I mean, obviously, Jokic and Wembanyama are up there at the top. I guess we don't need to go through it right now. But Walker Kessler is looking like one of the most solid starting players for this Jazz team for the future. And I'm all in at this point. Last year, I was out. I was so out. I was just so frustrated that Kessler could let some of those outside things get to him. And he was just so soft and just not what you expected. And he has been completely turned it around this year. I don't know if that Mixed America pageant did a lot, but I don't know. I guess that's what it takes. Just date Miss America. But anyways, Kessler's killing it at life, and he's killing it on the court. Congrats to Walker Kessler. He's awesome. I think he's going to be on the Jazz for a long time. Utah is starting to really find some core young pieces, and I'm pro having Kessler long term. Now, you're going to be like, if they start having to pay him $25+ million a year, I think $30 million maybe even kind of out there, because you look at what Isaiah Hartenstein got for the Thunder, and it's like, that's a lot of money for a team that doesn't really have their superstar yet. So it's going to be an interesting couple years, but I have to say, Walker Kessler is really good. He was really, really good. Colin Sexton, he started off this game pretty darn rough, and he did turn it around. Ends the game with 22 points, 8 assists, 5 rebounds. There's got to be a team out there that likes Sexton, and I bet Utah gets something done. They need to do something, though. Utah needs to go full youth at this point and just grow. I mean, the question will be interesting this offseason with Markkanen, what you do. I guess it probably depends on if you win the lottery and you get the number 1 pick. I could see the Jazz keeping Markkanen in that situation. If Utah loses the lottery and gets another kind of potential star, but they've got to develop him, like maybe Utah gets really lucky and gets VJ Edgecombe, I'd be pretty ecstatic at this point from what we're seeing. But I don't know. It's going to be fascinating. But Utah needs to move Sexton. They just got to get what they can. Let him go to a winning team and be a supplementary piece to them. He is such a good offensive player that there's got to be a team out there that's interested in Sexton. Got to be. All right, speaking of players who are going to be on the Jazz for a long time, guys, it might be time to go get an Isaiah Collier jersey. He is looking like the point guard of the future for the Utah Jazz. Holy smokes. You know, and the numbers tonight, 12 points, 6 assists. That's not going to make it on the StatMuse social media or whatever, but he was awesome tonight. And there was 2 things. I mean, first, he starts off the game 3 for 3, and he's just hitting threes now. I know 1 for 4, whatever. I'm excited that he's taking those. And tonight he took 4. He's getting more and more comfortable doing it. And the shot looks pretty good. Like, you watch that form, it looks pretty solid. And so I think there's room for him to improve. And if he can just get consistent with that, then holy smokes, do the Jazz have a steal from that draft. I believe he was the last pick in the first round, if not very near the end. What a steal he was. The speed and strength is amazing. The control, the leadership, just everything. He is awesome. And I think Utah has just absolutely found their point guard. Now, he's not super huge. I think they list him at 6'4". What do they have him? 6'3". That's about right. I don't think he's 6'4". 6'3" might be 6'3" with shoes. I don't know. But he plays big. There was one play tonight where he was up against Bataze, post defense, and Bataze tries to move him back. And I've said this before, and I was watching that close. He's a fire hydrant. It's awesome. He does not move. Bataze banged into Collier, and he pushed him off. And Bataze passed out of the post, being guarded by Isaiah Collier. I love it. And he had how many steals tonight? Just the one. It was great. He is going to be so solid for this team for a long time. And one of the things I'm watching for this Jazz team as we move forward, we've only got, I think, a third of the season left. So Utah's really got to lock in with this Cooper capture the flag and everything. But I'm looking for players that I think are long-term fits, and we could probably do a ranking system. Maybe I need to do more of that. But I think I would put Walker Kessler and Isaiah Collier at the top of that jersey buy list. These are guys that you could probably feel comfortable buying a jersey. Now, Walker Kessler could get traded tomorrow if the Lakers throw a just insane offer at the Jazz. But I just have a hard time seeing that happen, and I have a hard time seeing the Jazz want to move Kessler because I think he'll fit with whoever the Jazz draft in this draft. Now, Malawach looking pretty freaking awesome for Duke. We'll see. This draft is going to be fascinating. Malawach is top 10. There's a lot of guys that are really interesting out there. Malawach, my gosh, guys, what a draft. It's the Jazz are doing a great job being in this draft because there's a lot of options and a lot of players to go after. But, man, is Collier looking like an absolute lock to be on this team for a long time. I doubt the Jazz listen. I mean, if there's a team out there that offers you something crazy, you obviously listen to it. But you're not trading Collier. You know what I mean? You're just not. He is so solid. So we'll see. You never know. Never say never. You never know what trade may come through, but, man, does he look good. Keontae George had a great night last night. Tonight, he was 4 for 11. He had a thing where he got pulled because of, it looked like he got hurt, and I don't think he wanted to go out. And then there was kind of a little thing with Will Hardy. Although I will say this, guys, whenever you see stuff like that, like there's stuff with coaches and players all the time. This is competitive sports. That's going to happen. We'll see if anything comes of that. I am sure Keontae George right now, this is like 4 games now that he's coming off the bench. I'm sure he's a little sensitive to things right now, and I think all of us would. If any of us got put into like something that felt like a demotion at our day-to-day jobs, I'm sure we'd not be super excited about it. And you start kind of checking your LinkedIn, right? Well, I don't think NBA players are much different. They're looking to get that starting job. They're looking to play. They want to succeed. They want to earn their next contract. They want to be an all-star and win all these things, and you cannot imagine that level of competition and competitiveness that these players have. And so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyways, speaking of his play on the floor, 4 for 11, he started off much better and then kind of tapered off. He was missing some threes. I do like that he only took 3. When he drives to the basket, good things happen. He draws fouls and he does great things. 4 assists, 4 assists, 4 rebounds, and 4 free throws for Keontae, who plays 24 minutes. I don't know. It's something to just watch. We'll see. And I think if he's going to get starting job, it's going to be taking it from Sexton, not Collier. I think that's absolutely what he's looking to do. And if you compare his numbers to Sexton, Sexton has the edge, obviously, but it wasn't like by a lot. I don't know. All right, so Micah Potter plays tonight. That was interesting. So this is kind of what we're seeing because Eubanks is out. We see Micah Potter and Kyle Filipowski. They got kind of those 12, look at that, about 20 minutes that probably would have gone to Eubanks, go to these two. And it's interesting. I do like seeing Kyle Filipowski get a little bit more because I think Filipowski has some real interesting things to his game tonight. Like we mentioned already, look at that, 4 assists. Filipowski is an interesting player. I don't know if we know exactly what he is yet, but he is an interesting player for sure. And I think you can do some things with him off the bench. There's definitely some Kelly Olynyk there. You want to see more consistency with the shooting and scoring. And I like that Filipowski goes in and tries to score some buckets here and there and isn't just defaulting every time because he does some nice things, and the 4 assists show that. So we'll see. Let's watch Filipowski and see what he can become. I like that he has that fight to kind of just take things to another level. Sensabaugh also played tonight. He's a little turnover prone. There you see. Well, I don't think they show it. But actually, it looks like they didn't. I thought he did, but they didn't show. Philip, I don't know. I think this is a player that could really stand to have Jordan Clarkson traded so he can just get consistent minutes because I like what we see from Sensabaugh. I want to watch him with just his ball handling and his ability to hold on to it because I think he struggled a few times tonight and it's not showing up in the box score. But if you go watch the game, you'll see what I'm talking about. He does shoot the ball well, and there's some things he does really nicely. He also had 3 rebounds. He's a player that it's just going to be someone we watch. If there's a team out there that says throw in Sensabaugh as part of this trade and we'll give you this incredible whatever, I don't think the Jazz are going to lose sleep over that. But he's also a player worth holding on to. We know he can shoot the ball. He's got some nice things to his game. I'll be honest, I don't know if Bryce Sensabaugh in what we're watching is all that different than like a Johnny Juzang, Like if you told me what's the difference between Bryce Sensabaugh and Johnny Juzang and you asked me and I just went into it and just kind of looked at what they do. They're both basically 3-point shooters and for the most part catch and shoot 3-point shooters. Sensabaugh can do maybe a little bit more, but he turns the ball over when he goes inside and he's not proving to be like an elite playmaker. So I don't know. We'll see. I say just let Bryce Sensabaugh continue to develop and who knows? That's what this is about. In other situations where if Utah was really trying to win all these games, then I don't know if Bryce Sensabaugh would be seeing the floor all that much. But for now, it's nice that we get to see if there's something there. And we mentioned Jordan Clarkson, 4 for 12 from the field, 16 points, 2 assists. It's so funny because he goes 4 for 8 from 3 and 4 for 4 from the free throw line. He's such an interesting player. And every single time you watch Jordan Clarkson, something crazy happens, something fun, something that makes you scratch your head. But it is a lot of fun. We'll see if there's a team out there that wants to trade for Clarkson. I don't know who that is or what that would be. But maybe it's just harder these days to make trades happen. So I just don't see a trade for Clarkson happening. I hope I'm wrong. I just don't see it. I don't know what that's going to be or look like. So we shall see. All right, guys, I think that's it for tonight. A nice win for the Jazz. They can't keep doing that. 1 win out of every 10, I'm fine with. That's the win rate I'd like to see. Isaiah Basketballier. I love it, Steve. I believe in Steve. But let's see. So Duke played tonight. Cooper Flagg looked incredible. They played UNC. They may still be playing right now, but I'm not sure. I believe they're done. But Cooper Flagg is awesome, guys. Let us hope that we get him because that would be such a phenomenal add to this Jazz team. All right, let's see what would happen if the lottery was today. Boom. Look at that. Utah gets the 5 pick. Yeah, I guess you'll have to take it. I'm a little worried because that kind of takes you out of the VJ Edgecombe. Look at that. Sacramento, for all we said about Sacramento, they win the number 1 pick and get Cooper Flagg. Are you serious? Are you serial? Could you imagine? And then Atlanta jumps again. But that pick goes to the San Antonio Spurs. Are you serious? Could you imagine? I can't have that happen. That'll make me die. And then Utah gets the 5 pick. Toronto gets the 4. Which puts Utah, let's see. So VJ, I think, is going 4. That gives Utah a choice between Jakusonis, Johnson, Knopel, and Demon. I probably go with Yegor Demon at that point because I think he can do some really fun things from that spot. But look at that. Malowatch up to 9. He may rise some more, guys. This Jeremiah Fears is interesting. He's playing pretty darn well. And then Utah gets Liam McNeely from the Minnesota Timberwolves right there. So, interesting stuff. All right, guys, let's give a shout out to our All-Stars tonight. Let's give a shout out to Dirty Jazz Car Wash Channel, I Believe in Steve Jazz Exile, Ryan Edward Perry, The Legend, Baby Elliott Madsen, see ya, Alexa later, Christian House Money to Haas, Jordan the Goat Bessroll, Austin R. Grant Editor Extraordinaire, KG10 to TH5, the OG, and Patrick Akubo, the Connoisseur. Guys, if you're new here, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Come on, man. And then if you'd like to support the channel, just hit join below. I would really appreciate it. Guys, we're having a lot of fun. The lottery is coming up. Trade deadline is on the 6th. It's on Thursday.